Now I've been extremely busy this week working in our own house and building myself a suspended fireplace. Now at the start of the build a year or two ago, we had 4 big RSJs suspended from the ceiling right the way down to the bottom here, and we were going to have a particular type of fire. However, you might have seen the video, in fact there's a link for it below, of me building an artificial fireplace to actually fit a bespoke fire, a 3-sided panoramic, and then the television in the top. I loved it so much, I've gone and ordered myself one down there. So I'm not going to have the fireplace that I originally planned. I had to cut off the steels at the bottom here, remove all the old frame that I put in last year, and then rebuild it again. I've used up the old wood, of course, recycle that. Doesn't matter what it looks like because it's all going to be cladded on. But what I have had to do is create it hanging from the centre, these 4 posts, coming all the way down here, and create a ledge, because when that fire actually sits in here, it's got 3 glass sides. It's going to look fantastic. And then there's going to be another single fire on the other side that you'll see out there. This is a kind of a partition, a diverter between our dining room and our living room here. So this gap now is going to hold a huge big television, lovely sunken in, and so is the other side there. It's going to look fantastic, so stay tuned. Once the wooden frame was complete, I covered it in 12mm OSB board. Then I applied a layer of plasterboard over this, screwing it down every 10 inches apart. After this, I added some angle beads along the corners and the edges of the recesses that I made to fit the TV in, before mixing up some wet plaster and skimming all the surfaces of the plasterboard to create a nice smooth polished finish ready for painting. With this being a focal point of my living room, I want the perfect finish when it comes to painting, so what better way to achieve this than with a Wagner paint sprayer. When spraying any surfaces like this, it's important to mask up the areas you don't want to paint, like the TV, the glazed bespoke panoramic fire, as well as masking up along the edge of the ceiling where it meets the fireplace. I've used 3 or 4 different colour paints from the Frenchic Paint range, applying it with my Wagner handheld paint sprayer. The model I used was the 3500 unit. I had to dilute the paint down by 10% with water to use it through the paint sprayer, and I applied 2 coats to get a good solid finish before removing the masking tape. Now I also created 2 further recesses either side of the fireplace to create an additional feature out of the old dead tree that I cut down in our garden. Using a chainsaw, I chopped up the branches into sections between 3 and 6 inches in length, stacking them into position and applying a good strong grab adhesive from the 3C silicone range to the back of each section to fix them into place. A great little tip is to paint the back section of the recess black before applying your logs. This gives the impression that the recess is deeper than what it is and the logs are even longer. So that's my hanging fireplace finally complete with a beautiful panoramic bespoke flame effect fire. Although this blows out heat, it's perfectly safe for children to touch. Having the offcut logs on both sides of the fireplace really helps to enhance the overall look with the different materials and textures. Please keep in touch on social media and follow us on YouTube. All handles can be found on our website, Mr and Mrs DIY.tv.